Welcome, brilliant Sagittarius souls, whether you've been galloping alongside us for lifetimes or you just stumbled in after a late-night Google spiral asking, why do I suddenly feel like starting a cult or ghosting my entire contact list? You've landed exactly where you're meant to be. This is Zodiac Talks Tarot, where we don't just read horoscopes, we dissect cosmic truth like it's your emotional DNA, with a dash of humor, a spoonful of spiritual clarity, and enough soul-searching to make your shadow self flinch. And today? Oh, we're diving headfirst into the glittering inferno that is Venus square Pluto, hitting exact on June 9, 2025, a cosmic event that doesn't gently knock on your door but rather kicks it down wearing emotional combat boots. Now, let's be clear, this is not your average astrological hiccup. This is a soul-level smackdown. Pluto, our shadowy underworld therapist, isn't interested in polite conversations or surface-level affirmations. He wants the truth, the ugly, beautiful, raw truth, and Venus? Well, sweet Venus just wants love, cookies, and maybe a nap. Especially while she's in Taurus, she's all about sensual stability, comfort food, and cuddles. But Pluto, retrograde in Aquarius, isn't having it. He's that intense friend who interrupts your spa day to tell you your relationship is codependent and your unresolved mother wound is showing. This energetic square creates a 72-hour emotional portal, and guess what, Sagittarius? You're already in it. If you've been crying over commercials, picking philosophical fights with your barista, or wondering why that old flame suddenly appeared in your dream looking like a Greek tragedy in human form, you're not going crazy. You're tuning in. This is what transformation feels like when it doesn't ask for your permission. As one of the chosen ones, you didn't incarnate here for the easy lessons. You came for the real stuff, the soul excavations, the spiritual growth spurts, the moments when the universe says, let's strip this down to the bones and see what you're really made of. Venus square Pluto is that invitation. Actually, no, it's more like a mandatory cosmic intervention wrapped in glitter and existential dread. So grab your bow, Sagittarius. Aim it at your illusions. And if your heart's feeling like it's being squeezed through a karmic colander right now, congratulations. You're right on schedule. Let's talk about what I lovingly call the chaos buffet, and Sagittarius, you've got front row reservations, whether you asked for them or not. This Venus square Pluto transit isn't just poking around your love life like a nosy ant at Thanksgiving. No, it's kicking over the table and asking, so, why do you keep dating your trauma? Your fiery, spontaneous spirit, that signature Sagittarian spark that makes you chase new ideas, new people, and spontaneous road trips at 3 a.m., is now clashing headfirst with a wave of deep emotional reckoning. And it's confusing, right? 1 minute, you're obsessed with someone like they're the last philosophical conversation on Earth, and the next minute, you're repulsed by the same person, because they chew too loud or have an emotional IQ that makes a potato look enlightened. But here's the kicker, it's not really about them. It's about you. More specifically, it's about why your soul keeps choosing these exact dynamics, the push, the pull, the power plays, not just in love, but in your friendships, your family ties, and yes, even in that spicy little group chat where drama is brewed like kombucha. What looks like chaos is actually data. It's soul-coded information, delivered in the only language Sagittarius will pay attention to, full-blown, glorious, cosmic mayhem. And let's not skip over the emotional symptoms. If you've been up at 2 a.m. rage texting an ex or weeping over a crumpled receipt that reminded you of a simpler time, please hear this, you're not broken. You're being broken open. Pluto's not trying to punish you. He's that dark, brooding therapist archetype showing up in your psyche to whisper, it's time to stop calling emotional avoidance freedom. Sagittarius, your humor is your shield, but don't let it be your escape route. Laugh, yes. Make the meme. But also, feel the thing. This isn't just astrology. This is soul surgery, and baby, you're on the table. Alright Sagittarius, brace yourself, because under this Venus square Pluto energy, the universe just wheeled in the emotional X-ray machine, and guess what? You're the subject. Every relationship, romantic, platonic, professional, and yes, even that weirdly codependent dynamic you have with your barista, is being scanned for hidden fractures. The manipulation you tolerated because they're going through a lot? Lit up like a neon sign. The codependency that looked like love but felt like emotional quicksand? It's flashing red on the soul scanner. And that I'm fine mask you've been wearing like a fashion accessory? Sag, Pluto's got your number. That mask isn't just slipping, it's melting under the cosmic spotlight. And here's the plot twist, this isn't just about them. It's about you. Your relationship with yourself is under audit. Pluto doesn't just expose how others treat you, he hands you a mirror and says, now tell me how you've been treating yourself. Have you been gaslighting your own needs? Laughing off your loneliness? Turning every wound into a joke and calling it resilience? Be honest, Sag. You're the seeker of truth, after all. Start with your own. Now let's talk mirrors, not the cute, Instagram filtered ones, but the soul ones. The ones that show you what's real. If someone exits your life during this transit, don't chase them. Don't spiral. Don't light a candle and chant in ancient Greek, unless that genuinely brings you peace. Understand this, the illusions are falling away. That connection you romanticized? That dynamic you excused for too long? It's dissolving because it has to. Evolution doesn't always come with closure. Sometimes it just comes with a door that quietly closes in a universe that whispers, keep walking. And if you are, as many Sagittarians are, one of the chosen ones, you'll feel it in your bones. You'll know this isn't loss. It's liberation. Let the illusions burn. Let the masks drop. What's left will be the truth, raw, inconvenient, maybe a little lonely at first, but absolutely, undeniably yours. Sagittarius, let's get one thing straight, you're not too much, you're just finally in a world that can no longer tolerate people pretending to be less. But here's the twist, under this Venus square Pluto transit, even you might start questioning the very stories you've been living by. That old belief that you're always the one who loves harder? That fear that your fire burns too brightly and too long, leaving you scorched and alone? Pluto's here to slice those narratives open like a surgeon with zero bedside manner. And Venus? She's trying to offer you comfort, but let's be honest, the anesthesia is wearing off. This is spiritual surgery, and you're awake for it. You're being invited to purge every outdated belief that's been weighing you down like emotional junk mail. And it's not just about romantic love, Sag, it's about self-worth. The kind that doesn't need to chase or perform or dim to be received. Now let's talk about the body, because it's not just along for the ride. It's speaking volumes, even when your mind is pretending everything's chill. This transit hits the Venus zones, throat, neck, kidneys, and Pluto's domain, your reproductive system and, let's be real, the stuff we don't like to talk about in polite company, elimination. Your body is acting like a lie detector test right now, Sagittarius. That tension in your jaw when you say I'm fine? That random ache in your stomach when you think about someone from your past? Those aren't coincidences. Those are soul-level alarm bells. You've been holding on to what doesn't serve you, and your body's done playing storage unit. Buddhists teach us that the body and mind are not separate, they're part of the same stream. So if something's aching, tightening, or flaring up right now, ask yourself, what am I really holding on to? Because Pluto doesn't just clean house, he burns it down, so you can build something real. And trust me, Sagittarius, what comes next will feel lighter, cleaner, truer. Like you, but without the weight of pretending. Here's the truth, Sagittarius, your body isn't just meat and bones on autopilot. It's a spiritual GPS with its own emotional Wi-Fi, and right now, it's buffering some pretty significant downloads. That sore shoulder? That strange buzzing in your gut? That random tension in your throat when someone asks, "Are you okay?" Yeah, those are not just muscle cramps or bad posture. They're breadcrumbs. Physical breadcrumbs leading you straight to emotional truths you've been spiritually side-eyeing for years. In Buddhist thought, the body is seen as the first temple, a mirror for the mind. So when it speaks, or screams, the wise don't ignore it, they get curious. Sag, this is not the time to slap on another essential oil and call it a day. It's time to follow the sensation inward, because that's where the real medicine is hiding, in the quiet space just beyond discomfort, where honesty and healing live. And then there are your dreams. Oh boy! During this Venus-Pluto portal, your dreams aren't just weird, they're borderline prophetic. They're like bootleg movie trailers for your next karmic chapter, featuring surprise cameos from your ex, your childhood math teacher, and maybe a talking snake that oddly sounds like your therapist. These dreams are symbolic roadmaps, full of endings, rebirths, and those liminal twilight states where truth slips through before your conscious mind can censor it. Don't brush them off as random weirdness. Write them down. Even the absurd ones. Especially the absurd ones. You're decoding your own myth, Sag, one surreal scene at a time. And let's not forget the time warp. Time, during this transit, gets weird. Conversations loop. Hours stretch or vanish. You start remembering things you hadn't thought about in years, and they hit with the emotional force of a surprise tax audit. This isn't a glitch. It's alignment. What's repeating in your life is revealing itself not to punish you, but to help you pivot. So don't panic when the matrix flickers. Just pay attention. The universe is rewiring your timeline, and Sag, you've got front row seats to your own quantum upgrade. Sagittarius, let's get one thing straight, you can't unknow what you now know. You can't unfeel what Pluto just unearthed or pretend this Venus square Pluto portal didn't send you through a spiritual car wash with the emotional pressure cranked up to maximum integration, my friend, is the new enlightenment. And while enlightenment used to sound like incense and silence on a mountain somewhere, now it looks a lot more like crying in your car, laughing during a breakdown, and finally realizing that those so-called setbacks were actually sacred detours. You are not who you were last week, not even close. And if you try to squeeze back into the emotional genes of your old life, the universe will lovingly hit you with a metaphorical folding chair, WWE style, and whisper, "Nice try. Evolve." Your soul has been rewired. You've been upgraded. New operating system, new boundaries, new awareness. Use it. This isn't about patching yourself up and pretending the purge never happened. This is about becoming the version of you that your past self prayed for, the truth teller, the shadow facer, the seeker who doesn't just survive the fire but learns to dance in it. So how do you move forward like a true Sagittarius sage? Let's talk spiritual tools, the real ones, not the sugar-coated, Zodiac meme ones. First, radical honesty with yourself. No more pretending you're chill when your soul is screaming. No more shrugging off red flags with "I can handle it." That's not bravery, that's bypassing. Second, release control, and I know, for a sign that values freedom, this one stings. But control isn't freedom. It's fear in a fancy outfit. You were never really in charge of the outcome, only the effort. Third, face the shadow. Yes, even the parts that cringe when you see someone else getting the attention you secretly crave. Even the parts that still believe being loved means being needed. Don't flinch. Face it. That's where the gold is buried. And finally, trust the spiral. Healing isn't linear, and growth rarely comes with a clean soundtrack. But every ending is the start of something deeper. Something wilder. Something real. And if you are, as I suspect, one of the chosen ones, congratulations, but buckle up. That doesn't mean you get a free ride. It means your wounds have meaning. Your pain has a purpose. And your story, when owned and alchemized, becomes a light post for others who haven't made it out of their emotional fog yet. So don't just cope. Grow. Don't just endure. Transform. This Venus square Pluto isn't here to punish you. It's here to promote you, to call you higher, deeper, truer. If anything in this video cracked something open in you, if your intuition started buzzing, or your ex appeared in your dream holding a symbolic pineapple, because why not? Then you're right where you need to be. Drop a comment with your biggest aha moment. Let's build a community of seekers, not spectators. Hit that like button if your soul feels a little shinier now. Share this with a fellow truth hunter who needs to know they're not going crazy, they're just evolving. And of course, subscribe to Zodiac Talks Tarot, where we don't just talk stars, we live them, wrestle with them, laugh through them, and sometimes yell into the void until they talk back. Until next time, Sagittarius, may your arrows fly true, your heart stay open, and your illusions burn in the most beautiful, necessary blaze. Life's not waiting. So why should you? Go live it, boldly, wildly, and unapologetically you.